one final day, their last chance to push to the limit, challenge Mother Nature, and prove they are the best. Nothing comes easily. The competition has been tough, the prey even tougher. This can make your reputation, while it challenges your will. A fortune up for grabs. 10 anglers, one day, one champion will survive.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes! Look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Glory ticket, $500,000 richer.
One of the most recognizable names on the FLW Outdoors circuit, Pickwick Lake, home to ancient burial grounds. Beautiful bluffs shape this body of water, and beautiful bass are the dominant species. $100,000 on the line to the man who brings home the biggest stringer. It's the third stop on the Walmart FLW Tour from Florence, Alabama on Pickwick Lake. This event presented by A&W Root Beer. Hello everyone, I'm Keith Leibowitz along with Charlie Evans. Final day of competition here on Pickwick Lake. And Charlie, what a fantastic storyline we have developing here with George Jeane Jr., a rookie on the Walmart FLW Tour, making his first top 10 appearance, and in a field filled with veterans. Here is George Jeane Jr. on top.
Fishing against the likes of David Walker and Dan Moorhead, both former Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year. He's out there catching over 17 pounds of fish yesterday, taking the lead. He's going out with confidence today. He could win this event.
Another veteran you got to look out for is Ozark Trail Pro Andy Morgan. 8 career FLW Tour top 10s, no victories. I talked to Andy this morning, and he wants that monkey off his back.
He's within striking range, and he's got that flipping stick in his hand, flipping a jig around a lot of tight cover, covering a lot of territory. He could bring in a big bag today.
And here's how they stand right now. George Jeane Jr. with a comfortable lead, but this lake has been very tricky this week. We'll see how long he can maintain that.
I'm sure the pressure may get to him just a little bit. He's being chased by 9 veteran anglers, but he does have a 2.5-pound lead over second place.
Just under 4 pounds out is the Ozark Trail Pro Andy Morgan, and he is hoping he can keep a lid on his excitement today.
I know that I got to stay patient, so I've just kind of been telling myself that all morning. Pray for wisdom and patience. If I zig and zag right, it'll work out. So, pretty confident.
With $100,000 on the line, every angler here feels the pressure. And making things even more interesting, a rookie is leading the pack this morning. How is George Jeane Jr. feeling?
I'm feeling real good. A little bit nervous this morning. If I can go catch me 10, 11, 12 pounds, I feel like I'll have enough.
It has been a challenging tournament. Yesterday we saw a lot of wind, but Charlie, it is about as calm as can be on the final day here.
Keith, the cold front has passed through. The wind has died down. That certainly will make it a lot easier for anglers to get around on the lakes today. The most important factor, though, how much current's flowing through the dams here on the Tennessee River system. That'll determine how the fish position and how active they'll be during the day. Our anglers have to decide whether they want to stay on Pickwick Lake and spend a lot of time with the bait in the water, or take a chance and lock up to Wilson or maybe even Wheeler, hoping of catching a big bag, but they'll spend a lot of time in the locks if they do that. It's going to be a very interesting day.
The state of Alabama is in the heart of the South. The Tennessee River runs along the northern edge of the state, and that is where you'll find Pickwick Lake. The anglers in this tournament launched from McFarland Park in the city of Florence. Here now is Ozark Trail Pro Andy Morgan fishing in Dry Creek near the western end of Pickwick Lake. And he has been hit or miss, Charlie, in this event.
He started out strong on day 1 with a 13-pound, 10-ounce limit that put him in 7th place. And another strong day yesterday. 3 fish that weighed 13.4 is currently in 3rd place.
Now we're back out with Morgan, looking for his first keeper of the day, and there we go.
Good solid hook set with that flipping stick.
I think he's gonna be short.
He's gonna have to measure that one, see if it'll be the legal 15 inches or not. Flipping right up against that rock bluff. Good strong drop off there, and the fish are holding tight against it, and just manhandles that fish right into the boat.
15-incher.
Looks like it'll make it.
I'll take it.
Keeper number 1 into the live well there for Andy Morgan. But Andy's going to have to catch some bigger fish than that if he's going to catch up with our current leader, George Jeane Jr., and what a tournament this rookie is having.
He's having a lot of fun. On day 2, he caught a limit that just squeaked him into the top 10. But once he got there on day 3, went out and got that huge 17-pound stringer. He's leading this entire field.
Yeah, he absolutely came alive on day 3, and there's so much on the line, but George Jeane Jr. says the pressure is not getting to him.
Let's hear it for George Jeane Jr.
This is my 3rd event. I'm a rookie.
Oh, yeah, Big Daddy.
I don't get nervous. That's the reason I compete well. I go do what I'm supposed to do, and I don't worry about what they're doing.
Yeah!
I was catching my fish 18 to 22 foot of water, most of them coming out of 20 foot of water. Fishing real slow. Going good right now. Where everybody's beating the shallow fish and pounding them, I went deeper where there's nobody fishing. Daddy got me into fishing. He's taught me since I was old enough to walk. He's taught me everything I know about fishing. He called me twice last night. He was proud of me. He was real proud.
And he's got every reason to be proud. And George Jeane Jr., when he's not on the water as an air conditioning repair guy, says no matter how he finishes in this tournament, he's going to go back to work on Monday, and he's got another one on here.
Already has one in the boat. This will be keeper number 2 if he gets it in. Already starting the day really fast.
Nice fish.
He got it. 2 keepers in the boat, both caught on that deep jig.
Down in his mouth. And he ain't biting any good. Ooh, it fell out.
Looks like
Very
that
far.
fish wasn't even hooked good. Just hanging on to that jig down there and fishing it down in 18 to 22 foot of water, fishing deeper than everybody else in the top 10.
Wow, what a great start for George Jeane Jr. He is on him again, but his opponents are the best in the world, and they're not going down without a fight. More from Pickwick Lake when we come back.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Newton. Welcome to the Shoals area. We're at Lake Pickwick. Come on, let me show you around. Here we are, Coondog Cemetery, just outside of Muscle Shoals. And the sign says this is the only cemetery of its kind in the world. A lot of good dogs buried out here. It's a very historical site. Muscle Shoals is also known for great golf. What is this right here? Oh yeah. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Muscle Shoals is also a great place for music. Let's go in and check it out. This is Alabama's first tour bus. The beds are a little tight. I still like my camper better. The Commodores. Alabama, there they are. Nat King Cole, Hank Williams. Hey, you know where the coon dogs are? There's coon tracks. There's the coon dog. This is not very pleasant. When we want to get flossy in the shoals, this is where we go. For a great meal, good view, the 360 grill. I think that's his secret spot, right there. That's where he's catching all the big ones.
Now let me get your picture with it.
Okay. Fine dining is nice, but let's go have a shrimp cocktail by the pool. Come on. Thank you. When they're this good, you gotta have 2.
This came from England.
I think you'd look good in this, and I'd look better in that. Let's see about that. It's almost like a California look.
You want to take a ride?
Sure. Yeah. Here we go. Y'all might have to get me out of here. We shall return. It's got plenty of leg room. Man, this thing's fast. I hope you enjoyed the tour here in the Muscle Shoals area. I've got to get back to work. We'll see you at Beaver.
Oh my, rough life. Thanks, John. Here's Dan Moorhead now in the Lowry's boat up on Wilson Lake. He caught just 2 keepers yesterday and finished in 9th place, but Dan is on one early today.
That feels like a bass, man.
Fished on Pickwick yesterday, didn't do so good, so moved up to Wilson today. He's already got one working. Into the net.
One shot, one kill, boys.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you. Look there. Easy, son. Easy. Give me a chance here.
Looks like Dan made a good decision to move from Pickwick to Wilson.
I like my little jig.
They certainly do. He's using a 5/16 ounce man's stone jig, green pumpkin, and also using a man's crawdad trailer, green pumpkin color there. He is making a change today, and it is paying off for Dan Moorhead.
The smell of money.
The former Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year is moving up the leaderboard and making more dollars for the family. Meanwhile, Berkeley pro David Walker has locked through 2 dams into Wheeler Lake and is now fishing a section in the Elk River.
We got to our fishing spot, and we got beat by 4 other boats to it. Kind of going over my head areas that I need to go back and try. It's been a year or more since some of the places. I'm trying to debate whether I need to do that or stay close to this area and try and make something work here.
This was his favorite spot, called all of his keepers there yesterday, but this is the weekend. Some weekend anglers beat him to his spot. Now he's got to move on.
Now we're back on board with our leader, George Jeane Jr., and everything seems to be working for him in this tournament. He's on one again.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Hooked up again, 2 keepers already in the boat. This will be number 3.
No, it's another.
Still using that jig, dropped down to a 1/2 ounce now with the wind not blowing. Number 3 into the boat for George.
Great job for George Jeane Jr. Impeccable form so far we've seen from him.
He's using a black and blue 1/2 ounce PJ's football head jig. And for a trailer, he's got a Zoom Super Chunk green pumpkin. It's a great combination. He's using a 7-foot medium heavy Fenwick rod and 17-pound Berkeley Vanish fluorocarbon line.
George Jeane Jr. is doing everything he said he wanted to do this morning. He's getting it done. And it looks like David Walker has decided to stay put for now and not use any more time traveling.
He's also throwing a jig, got one hooked up here.
Strong fish.
Smallmouth.
Small.
Grabbing the net, trying to get this one in the boat. Backhanded net job.
Oh, good take it. Not that. No wonder he pulled so hard. I thought he was a 4-pounder. Smallmouth. Long, fast.
Good start.
Nice.
David Walker is on the board. Much more action still ahead from Pickwick Lake. Come on back with us on FLW Outdoors. Among the 200 pros who started this event was a rookie named Clay Dyer. In some ways, he's an average 27-year-old, an active member of the fishing community who likes sports. But his story is unique, and he inspires everyone around him.
I know that you've seen him on television, but this is his very first Walmart FLW Tour event on the pro side. Mr. Clay Dyer, we're glad to have you here, Clay. Typically glad to have you here tonight.
Knowing that you're finally up on that most elite level, this is the kitty cat's meow right here. Hope you got a strong camera, brother.
Game plan?
Fish like heck and hope I can catch 5. What's up, boy?
What's up? How are you?
I can catch you 5 tomorrow. I'm trying my best, brother. Howdy. This is my mom, Beverly, the wonderful lady behind the scenes.
He's not just my child. I say he's my buddy. I have to step back sometimes and he'll go, let me do it by myself.
I get it. Mom still likes to take them off. Big one, isn't it? My motto is, if I can, you can.
After 27 years, he does things that amazes me every day.
He does things his own way, you know, tying his lures on with his mouth. And, you know, I have trouble with 2 hands, and he occasionally mentions that.
I've always been the type of guy that I like challenges.
Anything he's ever really wanted to do, he's set his heart to it, and he's figured out a way to do it.
27 years of training, baby.
Yeah, he's trying it all. He can throw a spiral probably 20 yards better than you and I can.
Beautiful day out here. So I still love to get out here every now and then, keeps my arm all good and strong for efficiency, so I can jerk on all those big fish. Got a big fish, boys. It weighs 84 pounds. Ah! We can cut that one. I'm throwing spirals like I've been catching fish, not too good. I wanted to do something professionally, and I really felt like I could take fishing to the professional level. I knew I might not be a 4-4 sprinter or something like that. I knew I had what it takes to move around in the boat and try to catch fish. There he is. Woo! If he's 15, he's 2 pounds. She ain't over, but he touches. People I know say, man, it's just amazing what you do it. I look at it as I'm trying to put 5 fish in a live well for weigh-in, you know. Woo, we had to work hard for that one bite. I don't mind doing it for that right there, though. Woo, Lordy, what a day.
If there's something he wants to try, we try to figure out some way to make sure he has that opportunity.
When you've got that full line of support back home, it makes it a lot easier to go out here and swing for the fences every week.
How long did it take you to figure out how to cast?
A long time. I try to just live my life in a way, that I can be a positive influence on other people, and if I show them that they can do it regardless of their situation, then I feel like it's worth whatever work I have to get to that point. We're having fun yet.
Clay Dyer is a positive influence to everyone. He did not make the top 10 here, but I'm sure he's going to keep trying until he does. This is Tyson Pro Jim Moyna now, one of the 4 pros yesterday to bring in a limit.
He's also fishing with a jig.
Got one there.
Got one hooked up here. His first of the day.
I don't think he's gonna keep though.
Has to be at least 15 inches long to be a legal keeper.
Maybe.
I believe it'll go. Again, caught on a 3/8 ounce all-terrain tackle, Jim Moyna's rock jig, throwing it right up against the rocks, letting it drop right down right in front of the fish's nose.
Our leader, George Jeane Jr, has been working the same area all week long around Pickwick Dam, and today he's working an underwater ditch near the dam. Obviously, he has it figured out because, Charlie, he has been catching fish non-stop for 3 days now.
He used his Florence electronics to find areas with deep drop-offs, 18 to 22 foot deep, that had brush piles. It's still working for him here. Had brush piles there. Found those with his depth finders, working those areas real slow, using that half-ounce jig today without the wind. He is got something going.
He's gonna be short.
4 keepers in live well. He needs this one to be 15 inches long to be his limit fish.
What I love about this guy is that he's all business. He wastes no time. He maximizes his time out on the water.
For a guy that's a rookie out here, he certainly fishes like a veteran. Said he wanted a limit today that weighed 11 or 12 pounds. He's got that. He may be closing in on his first $100,000 Walmart FLW Tour victory here.
You just can't help but to marvel at what he's doing right now. Dan Moorhead is on Wilson Lake, right now fishing nearly inside of Wilson Dam.
You can hear the generators from where he's fishing at real close up there to the dam. Throwing his bait right over this little fence here. Again, it's not off limits, but he's using some real talents to get this fish out from behind that fence and into the boat.
Nice job. Yeah, Dan won the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year crown a couple of years back. Told me this morning he wants to do it again. And look at him doing a little dance. Keeper number 2 on board.
In your face, Andy Morgan.
Dan Moorhead and Andy Morgan, best of friends, but very competitive.
Hi, I'm Dan Moorhead from Paducah, Kentucky. Come on back, because I'm going to make a dramatic comeback.
It's the final day of fishing here on Pickwick Lake, and a lot of the pros are swinging for the fences in their bids to take the title. Dave Lefebvre came up a little short yesterday, and right now his live well is empty, Charlie. Nothing yet.
He's had a tough tournament. They got one hooked up here.
Okay, boy. Stay on there. Oh, boy, it's a giant. This could be the beginning of something really, 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 really good.
He thinks he's got a real hog hooked up here, taking his time with this fish. Oh, wow.
Look at that.
You set a rod I designed.
Ooh, man.
Oh, no, that's in the water. That's in the water.
Oh, he lost his net.
All right. That rod is the deal. Thank you, Lord. Well, you saw what I did there. A little bait change. Popped into my head. Just because those fish were biting so light out there on that channel edge, and I've been getting so many bites. Figured they might have moved up shallow. There's one. But that could be the start of something unbelievable. I'm shaking. That was only my second cast with that.
Dave Lefebvre might be getting on to something here.
This is Brennan Bosley, and he might want to try something new as well. He's still looking for his first catch of the day. But it was a much different story at our last event on Lake Murray. He almost had him jumping in the boat. He was one of 3 anglers who set new records for 2-day total weight, and he finished second. But yesterday, he had to struggle for just 3 fish and ended the day at the back of the pack. This time around, he has to be happy with small victories.
We don't have to go empty-handed now, boys.
He's now in a new area called Bear Creek on Pickwick Lake.
In the last 3 or 4 days, the water's really warmed up. It's jumped up, 5 to 7, 8 degrees. I hadn't been here the entire tournament, so I thought this morning, if I don't get on anything, I need to go down there because it's an area you could pull in and catch 15, 16 pounds in a hurry if they're in there feeding on shad. And we're just gonna fish through there and throw the same little old 1/4 ounce Strike King Diamond Shad crankbait and just burn it through there and try to get a couple reaction bites and see what we can do with them.
Those type of adjustments have kept him in the top 10 2 tournaments in a row.
Dan Moorhead is fishing just behind the dam on Wilson Lake. He is the former Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year and a familiar face in the top 10, but he knows you can't win them all. He is the 2003 Angler of the Year, Dan Moorhead!
I'm back! I don't know, I've lost count if it's 12 or 14, how many top 10s I made. Booyah! It never gets old.
Your champion of the 2003 Walmart Open, Dan Moorhead.
Who's your daddy? I shoot a lot of professional archery when I'm not fishing. The year that I won Angler of the Year, I was also on top of my game in archery. And archery's all mental, and I think it bleeds over and helps my fishing. I try to reel the bait just fast enough to tick the top of that grass. And every now and then, I always just kind of give it a little jerk, try to get a reaction bite. There's one. I'm as competitive and cutthroat as any man out here. I'm also a realist. I got a hill to climb to get back to the top. We're just gonna fish slow and methodical and beat this place to a pulp.
Without question, one of the most likable anglers on tour, Charlie.
And one of the most talented, making great casts right in between those big barges, feeding that line down so the bait drops straight down, throwing a jig, got one hooked up here. It made a total change today. Changed lakes from Pickwick up to Wilson, changed baits from throwing a lipless crankbait over grass and shallow water to a jig here on Wilson Lake, dropping it down into deeper water, 8, 10, 12, 15 foot deep. He truly is swinging for the fences. He knew he had to make a move today, and it's paying off. 3 good keepers in the boat for Dan Moorhead.
Over now to David Walker, and he is another pro who is trying his plan B today because other anglers got to his spot before he did this morning.
Got another one hooked up. David Walker already with one good solid smallmouth in the boat, caught on a jig, still throwing a jig here. He's got another fish hooked up, taking his time. All right. Even though he couldn't get to his #1 spot, he's making his #2 spot pay off. 2 good keepers in the boat for David Walker.
That fish made him work for it. This is a day full of curveballs for these pros, and it's only half over. $100,000 on the line. We're back after this. After a tough day 3, a lot of the anglers are trying something new today, but not Tommy Biffle. He's still fishing the cypress trees from the Lawrence boat. He has stayed in that spot even though it hasn't landed a single keeper for him today. He had a couple of big misses though yesterday.
Oh, dang! That big fish. Oh, dang!
2 huge fish he lost on day 3. That second one he said would have gone 6 or 7 pounds.
Yeah, Charlie, had he brought both of those fish to the scales yesterday, we may have been looking at a guy contending for the title. Instead, he only had 1 fish, and now he's setting up here.
Got one in the boat here, but not near the size of the 2 big ones that there yesterday, but at least he's got a start.
Start drafting, they start biting.
This is the second top 10 of the season already for Tommy Biffle, who's contending now for the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year title. He had a top 10 at Okeechobee, and now here. Here's Tyson pro Jim Moyna. He's been very strong in this tournament. 4th when the day began, and one of only 4 pros to catch a limit yesterday.
He's throwing a jig, got one hooked up here.
Yeah. There we go, little one.
Yeah, Jim's gonna have to throw that back. It is not 15 inches long. He can't keep it. That'll go back into the water. Jim Moyna has had 5 top 10 finishes in his 10 years on the Walmart FLW Tour and 1 victory. He would like win number 2 right here. From Carver, Minnesota, it's the Tyson Pro, Jim Moyna!
This would be my 6th top 10. I won one FLW tournament several years ago, 1997.
There he is, folks, your champion.
I thought my next win would come a lot sooner than that, and I'm still waiting. Thinking I just need to catch some fish, any kind. Did you eat your protein today? Last year was probably my worst year I ever had on the FLW Tour. It's been kind of tough dealing with that, so this will help bounce things around, hopefully. There's one, that's a keeper. Ah, baby. I'm catching most of my fish on a jig. That's my own design, Jim Moyna's rock jig. And it's like my supreme ultimate confidence bait, so that's a good thing. I'm feeling good. My chances are as good as anybody here today. There's a couple big fish out there with my name on it, so I'm coming to get them.
He's trying to get him around the same area. He just cut that short one.
Go right back to the same place. There's one, that's a keeper. Come on, baby, you stay on that hook now. Oh. Right. Yes.
Nice keeper there for Jim Moyna.
Yes, the rock jig scores again, baby.
It's a small, compact bait. It throws right up against those rocks, lets it drop right down that bluff where the bass are waiting for it. It's working for Jim.
Here's the jig that could win this tournament. That's because it's being fished by George Jeane Jr., who really has it down.
He's using the imitation of a crawdad down there, fishing along the edge of a long, round underwater point that has, on one edge of it, a ditch down there. In that ditch, there's about half a dozen brush piles he's located on his depth finder. He's crawling that jig real slow around the edge of those brush piles, and that's where the bass are hiding. They're reaching out and grabbing it.
It's been a pleasure to watch him all week. He is so focused, and look, you can just see him setting up again there.
Oh yeah, Big Daddy. Come get in the boat, Bobby. There's one we're looking for.
He's definitely in his zone. This will be number 6 he can call with this one.
He is so far out there, though.
Long way, make big long cast. That's why he's setting that hook so hard. Make sure you get a good hook set in that fish.
He's a good one, though. Oh, yeah. That will help big time.
He can taste it now, closing in on his first Walmart FLW Tour victory.
Yeah, the rookie is turning in a veteran performance out here today on Pickwick Lake. Tremendous effort by George Jeane Jr. Some last-minute maneuvering taking place. Tyson Pro Jim Moyna looking for his limit fish, but he's had a great day.
Hi, I'm Jim Moyna, and we'll be right back for some fabulous fish from Pickwick Lake, Alabama.
Tricky conditions like we've seen here at Pickwick Lake call for special techniques. Land O'Lakes pro Jeremiah Kindy shows us one of his favorites in this edition of Fishing 101, presented by BF Goodrich.
Hey, we're on Pickwick Lake. I know a lot of the anglers are catching fish on a crankbait. I'm also catching fish on a crankbait. What you want to look for this time of year is these rocky banks like this. We got water temperatures 48 to 55 degrees. You want to use light line. I use fluorocarbon so my bait will get deeper. You definitely want to throw crawdad color crankbaits. Just bang it off of these rocks down here and make it deflect, and these fish will just ambush it and bite it. You're wanting a reaction bite, not necessarily a feeding bite. That's really, in my opinion, the very best technique this time of year. I think if you'll use these tips, you'll catch a lot more fish.
Want more fishing secrets from Jeremiah and other FLW pros? Log on to FLWOutdoors.com to watch all of our Fishing 101 lessons. And for more tips, call 877-270-5646 to subscribe to FLW Outdoors magazine.
You want a Wilson big one or a Shore Enough big one?
Here's a guy that knows about fishing tips, Dan Moorhead.
Shaking his head, boys. I think that's a bass. Ooh, we got a big brown fish. There's my first big smallmouth.
He only had 2 keepers all day yesterday. Already got 3 in the boat. Here could be number 4, and it's a good fish.
Look at there. Who's your daddy? That's right.
That's his signature line. Who's your daddy?
I'm back.
Dan's definitely made some good decisions today, made some right choices, made the right changes at the right time.
And he's moving up the leaderboard and making himself some extra cash as well.
I love it.
Here now is our leader, George Jeane Jr., looking very relaxed, and he should be. While the other pros have struggled here, he has made a name for himself.
Keith, he has had a phenomenal day, and with every fish he catches, his confidence builds, and he's on top of his game right now.
Oh, yeah, Big Daddy. People know. Oh, yeah.
And he's having fun, too.
He really is, Charlie, but it was a different scene when we were here on this lake in November for the Strand Series Championship. There, it was neck and neck right to the finish. And that's the focus of today's Castrol Flashback.
There's just a ton of emotions that go through you on day 4.
Come on, fish.
Day 4, coming in, and it was scary. Luckily, I had one big one, but I knew it'd be close.
Somebody's got to finish first, somebody's got to finish second. If I got a chance to be first, it's going to be me.
Man, my heart was beating. I thought that I had it won at one point.
A new leader, Gabe Boulevard.
I had my fingers crossed, but I knew it was going to come down to the wire.
If it's your day, you're going to win. Doesn't matter if it's an ounce or a pound.
Needs 1 pound and 3 ounces. 1-3.
When he brought out that little spot, I thought, oh, yeah.
Have you got any more?
I don't.
So I knew right then I had it won.
1 pound, 1 ounce. Sam Newby, you're our champion. $140,000 richer.
I got 17 pounds, and I won't finish dead last, and if I don't catch a fish, I've accomplished what I set out to do. To show people that I could compete against these guys.
And George Jeane Jr. did more than compete. He excelled. It's going to be a very interesting weigh-in here.
All right, that's it. I'm gone.
Tyson Pro Jim Moyna is ending his day. He's headed for the weigh-in. So is Rob Kilby, who started the day in 2nd place, but never got it going today. Time is winding down. The last cast when we come back. You're looking down on Dan Moorhead, who's trying a Hail Mary cast just outside the marina. He needs just one more keeper to have a limit.
He's already locked through. Got one hooked up here.
There he is, boys. Oh, Lord, yeah.
It's never over till it's over. Dan Moorhead's proving it right here.
Bam!
Dan Moorhead on the last cast picks up his limit fish. That's the way you do it. You never give up.
You told us how competitive he was, and look at him showing it off to the chopper.
That's right. Ha, love it. That's right. Who's your daddy? Today is me. I told you I'd get 5.
He's going to move up the leaderboard, Charlie.
No doubt about it.
Now the pros just have to beat the clock back to check in.
Got to make sure they're back in time. If they're late, 1 pound for every minute they're late, up to 15 minutes. Very critical to get back on time. The Tennessee River has challenged all of our top 10 anglers. Tough decisions to be made. Those that made the right choices will end up on top.
Every angler has a good fish story, but how many can tell a bear story? Only one that I know of. Legendary Ranger Boats founder Forrest L. Wood in today's FLW Fishtail, presented by Evinrude.
There's a lot of good bear stories. One I've heard that's old, but 2 men went out to go bear hunting, and they were going to stay in a cabin up in the mountains, and they got there late in the afternoon, and one of them said to the other, if you'll stay here and clean the cabin, I'll go out and scout for bear sign. Then we'll cook and eat after a while. So he was out scouting for bear sign, and he found some tracks, and he followed them a little way, and he startled the bear. And the bear turned around and took after him, and he ran back to the cabin, and the bear was gaining on him, and just as he ran up on the front porch, he stumped his toe and fell on the porch. The bear ran past him into the cabin, and he jumped up and slammed the door, and I yelled at his friend, skin that one, I'll go get another one.
As only Forrest could tell it. There is the marina at McFarland Park here in Florence, Alabama. And after a long day on the water, the anglers and their boats hit the road.
All pros ready to go. Come on down.
The big outboards have one more job to do before being shut down, getting the boats onto the trailers. And then the boat procession begins. A police escort clears the way through Florence, giving the fans a chance to see the boats and giving the anglers time to think about what lies ahead. The fishing is over, but the competition is about to begin. The end of the line is the Walmart Supercenter, and that's where they all head in to the weigh-in tent. The parking lot is full. The fans are enjoying the free family fun zone, and it's a chance to meet the pros and find out a bit more about them, like who they would like to take fishing. We get the answers in this edition of Ask the Angler, presented by Field & Stream.
If you could go fishing with anyone, who would it be?
I'd have to pick Larry Nixon, because he's old and I know he's got a lot of tricks.
Well, Mackenzie, I think if I could fish with anyone, it'd be my 5-year-old daughter, Emily.
My first choice is my wife, Laura.
If I could go fishing,
If he could go fishing with anybody, he'd love to go fishing with Greg Pugh.
I would go fishing with Clay Dyer simply because he's an inspiration to all of us.
And my answer would have to be Charlie Evans because I understand he can catch him in any condition.
A 5 bass limit.
It would have to be Jimmy Houston. Jimmy, if you're watching, let's go fishing.
I tell you, if I could go fishing with anyone right now, it would be Luke Clawson, the hottest guy out here on the FLW.
Hey, I wonder who Charlie Evans wants to fish with. We'll ask him later, because right now, he is inside the weigh-in tent. The crowd is nearly as excited as the anglers, and it's time to find out who mastered Pickwick Lake. One thing we know is that it was not Tommy Biffle. With only one keeper today, he is eliminated. He caught just 2 fish over the past 2 days. Dan Moorhead's Hail Mary helped him land a limit weighing over 13 pounds, but his fumble on day 3 keeps his total weight down. Not enough to pass George Jeane Jr. David Walker couldn't get to his spot this morning, but he made an adjustment and kept himself in the game.
Looking for 6 pounds and 8 ounces. 6 pounds, 9 ounces, a new leader, David Walker.
Plenty of anglers still have to weigh in, including Jim Moyna, who found some fish late in the day. And of course, George Jeane Jr. He led on day 3. He was catching them all day, and everyone wants to see what he's got in that live well. Next week, FLW Outdoors brings you the inaugural event of the Walmart FLW Series from Lake Lanier in Gainesville, Georgia. Anglers will be vying for a $900,000 purse and a $100,000 top prize, and you can catch it right here on FSN. Look at the cars outside this weigh-in tent. Fans have come here for a show, and they are getting one. 2 experienced anglers have already been eliminated, but right now, Berkeley pro David Walker is in the lead. Kellogg's pro Dave Lefebvre isn't going to take it away from him. He has just 1 fish and is sent packing. Things were even tougher for Todd Otten, who's 0 today. He is out of the competition. An empty live well also ends it for Wetlands pro Brennan Bosley. Ozark Trail pro Andy Morgan had a limit on day 3, but added only 1 more today. He is eliminated. Tyson pro Jim Moyna puts 3 fish on the scale and takes the lead from David Walker. Could this be his first Walmart FLW Tour victory in 9 years? Rob Kilby started the day in 2nd. He only managed 2 keepers, but they are enough to tie for 1st with Moyna. Now it's finally time for George Jeane Jr. to weigh in a fish. It's his tournament to lose.
1 pound and 2 ounces will put him back into the lead. And this fish weighs in at 2 pounds even, a new leader, George Jeane. He's back into the lead again.
No surprise, George Jeane is back on top, and he still has 4 fish to weigh in. The only other angler with a chance is Jim Moyna. And Moyna has been consistent throughout this tournament, never dropping below 6th place. And once again today, Moyna and his Moyna Rock Jig turned in a stellar performance. He's back at the scales now with his 4th fish. Only he knows whether or not there's a kicker left in his live well.
This is his 4th fish. He's weighed in 3. Here's fish number 4. He needs 115. This one weighs in at 2 pounds, 9 ounces, a new leader, Jim Moyna, 2.9.
Jim But now he has to hold the position against George Jeane Jr. What could be going through the mind of this rookie? In his first ever FLW Top 10, he's poised to win $100,000. We crown a champion next. Here's Tyson Pro Jim Moyna enjoying the view from the top of the leaderboard. But George Jeane Jr. is not going down without a fight. He is back at the scales for the second time.
All right, right now, 19 pounds, 1 ounce. He needs 1 pound, 11 ounces to take the lead. And the weight, 1 pound, 13 ounces, a new leader, George Jeane.
He's on top again. The past 2 days have been the George Jeane Jr. show. A rookie who barely made it into this top 10, he dominated the final round with powerful hook sets and the only consistently successful pattern on the lake. And now Jim Moyna has one last chance to win, but he's going to need a monster fish to do it.
And now we'll bring up Jim Moyna. He's weighed in 4 so far. George has weighed in only 2. Jim Moyna is out of fish. We have a champion, George Jeane. All right, let's weigh him in to make it official, George. He's weighed in 2 so far at 2014. Now we need to see what the winning margin is. There is fish number 3. That's going to add another 3 pounds to that. That'll make him at 23.14. There is number 4. And that we're now to 5 pounds and 4 ounces. And he has a tournament limit. Yes, he does. 5 fish for our winner. These 3 weigh a total of 8 pounds, 3 ounces, 8.3, giving him a total of 29 pounds and 1 ounce. George Jeane is our champion.
Wow, what an amazing finish to a tough tournament. No one is even close to George Jeane Jr. Almost 9 pounds separate George Jeane from Jim Moyna in second place. A fantastic showing by the rookie. And after just 3 tournaments, George Jeane Jr. is already a Walmart FLW Tour champion. And judging by his performance here, it could be the first of many. We have seen struggle and determination here. This tournament was a reminder that every angler on this tour has a shot at the very pinnacle of the sport. Join us next time on the Walmart FLW Tour from Beaver Lake in Rogers, Arkansas. Log on to FLWOutdoors.com for complete tournament coverage and live webcast. For Charlie Evans, I'm Keith Leibowitz. Thanks for watching.